Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jordan from Just Tesla, and today we're going to be talking about some Tesla news. So we're going to touch on the stocks, we're going to touch on the Cybertruck, and we're also going to touch on the update that went unmissed and might also cost you a little bit of money. If you wouldn't mind, please smash the like button. I really do appreciate it. For some reason, the YouTube gods, they love that kind of thing. As always, thanks for tuning in. Let's just jump straight into it. So firstly, I want to talk about the free ride that is now over. Some of you may have noticed it, some of you may have not. I've owned the car for a few months now, and I've had premium connectivity for all that time. I was only supposed to get 30 days free with the car, and I've been having all this free premium connectivity, just like you guys who have the Model 3, all of you guys. I know we was all keeping it quiet, but we all had premium connectivity for free. We all thought it was gonna last forever, but it's the end of the line. We now have to pay. So you should have received an email from Tesla, and it would have gone something like this. Premium connectivity ending 18th of the 5th, 2020. Subscribe to keep enjoying your premium connectivity. The biggest thing, the price. So it's going to cost $9.99 a month. I personally think that's a little bit steep. So in the US it's $9.99. It doesn't convert over to pounds. It would work out about $13, $14. I think it should have been about £7.99, £6.99, something like that, but the price is £9.99. Am I gonna pay it? Yes, I am. I'm gonna pay it. So with that update as well, you now have an expiration date for those free supercharging miles that you get, which I think is a very smart move from Tesla, because there's so many people on YouTube who get referrals for people and they rack up these miles, which if they lasted forever, these 1,000 free supercharging miles, they would probably have unlimited supercharger. There's loads of guys out there with 50 to 60 referrals. That would be 50 to 60,000 supercharging miles. That would last you the lifetime of the car because you're not supercharging all the time. I have 950 supercharging miles left, and now I have an expiration date on those supercharging miles. So Tesla are offering an extension on these supercharging miles because of the virus. They're going to offer an extension. So I don't know how that's going to work out. It'll probably appear in the app. If you want to see how many miles you've got in the app, you can go over to Treasure Box logo, give it a click, and it'll tell you how many miles you've got, and it'll tell you when yours are due to run out. It will be interesting to see if Tesla offer an extension on that 30-day free trial for the premium connectivity as well, because obviously none of us are getting in the car to be able to use the premium connectivity. Maybe it's something I will tweet Elon, and maybe he'll see it. Who knows? What do you guys think? Do you think that $9.99 is fair for it? In any other world, I would think it is fair, but just because the US get it for $9.99, I think it could be a little bit cheaper. Are you guys going to be ordering the premium connectivity? Other news, the Cybertruck has received some adjustments. So I think we can all agree we expected some changes of the truck after seeing it on reveal night. We didn't expect it to go into production just like that, but Elon's sticking to his guns, and the delivered truck will look very similar to what it did on reveal night, but there have been some small adjustments. So the first one Elon announced was a 3% size decrease. So the car is going to be 3% smaller in size, which is a little bit disappointing because I really did love the huge size. To put 3% in perspective, the Model Y is 10% bigger than the Model 3. So 3% is kind of a small change. The interior space will be reduced by about 1.5%, which again, Elon has said will leave the car feeling extremely roomy. It's not going to feel small by any means. So the center line is now more level, which I don't know how I feel about it. I think that I'm not a massive fan of the center line being more level after seeing the renders like this. I think it'll probably grow on us. And then there's a lower window sill height. So again, something I think could grow on me. I'm so used to the original design that anything different I'm not really liking. I know we're all mixed reviews on the design of the Cybertruck, but I had got my head around it and I was excited to step into that big clunk of a thing. I'm loving the fact that Elon wants to stick to the original design as much as possible, because that is what I want on the drive. That's what I want to step into, that big chunky thing. I'm a little bit annoyed that it's smaller already. Bigger is better, right? But seriously, I got so used to this strange design, this we've never seen before, that anything away from that, I'm just taking a while to get used to. But the 3% size decrease is to help it get into the average size garage. So it's going to increase sales. So there is a reason behind it. And again, 3%, it's not massive. It's not a crazy difference. Side by side, you probably wouldn't notice much difference. So also, Elon said about the Cybertruck that the suspension is being overhauled. They're trying to make it as good as possible. And that is for, now I need to say this right because I want to say Baja or Baja, but it's Baja. I think it's Baja. It's a really extreme off-road race, raced in the deserts, I think. And I just watched up some footage of the races. And if you go and search Baja, the race that Elon's on about, he wants it to perform really well in those races. If you go watch the race, if you're like me, you will have some sort of excitement to look forward to with the Cybertruck, even more so. Because if the Cybertruck can even drive on those roads, it's going to be very, very interesting. But I know Elon, he wants it to perform extremely well. And if he wants to perform extremely well, the Cybertruck is going to be an absolute beast and more capable than anything we actually thought of. So yeah, go search the races. I'll put some clips up of it. But if the Cybertruck is capable of doing this kind of racing, then we've got something really exciting to look forward to. Elon also clarified that the car will be capable of wading extremely good depths, which is great for off-roading. He also said it will be capable of floating. Now, you know, when we get the car, we would definitely be testing that out. But yeah, we have two pre-orders for it at the moment. I can't wait. I just can't wait. I really hope it comes sooner than later. Okay, so moving on to Tesla stock. If you have a Tesla or you're a fan of the company, it's very, very hard to separate the two from the stock and the company. And if you like the product, you've probably looked into the stock or you're maybe even invested in the stock. It's very hard to separate the two. Tesla fanboys usually invest in Tesla stock. So you will be aware that Tesla is closing in on its all-time highs, which is kind of strange in the market we're in at the moment. It's outperforming the market by quite a margin. And I thought I would mention it on here. So firstly, I just want to do a warning. I am not a professional investor. I do not give investment advice out. This is just my opinion on what's going off at the moment. This is my opinion on the whole community around the Tesla stock as well. It's not investment advice. It's just what I'm doing. It's just my thoughts and feelings on the whole thing. So I just want to say, firstly, I'm a massive Tesla bull. I'm looking long term. Everyone in our company is looking for the future towards Tesla. And yeah, we are big Tesla bulls for the long term. With that being said, one thing I can see a lot of people getting involved in is at the moment, obviously the market's crashed and the Tesla price came down quite a lot. So lots of people jumped in, which was fantastic buying opportunity for people. One of the problems I think I'm seeing a lot online is if you're interested in Tesla, you probably follow a lot of people who confirm your bias about Tesla. This is a massive problem because it creates an echo chamber on Twitter and on Facebook and all these places, and it will confirm your bias. So when you're looking for an opinion on whether you should invest in Tesla or not, you are probably seeing the opinions of people who are invested in Tesla. So when you see news articles being reposted by people you follow, they will favor Tesla. And also, news articles that you read are probably coming from pro-Tesla websites. Like I say, I'm a massive Tesla bull for the long term, so I don't think it actually matters too much where you buy Tesla. But there is this thing of people saying, well, you know, in the future, Tesla's going to be worth $15,000 per share. I agree that it could be very high of a share price, but I don't want to predict the price, but it could be very, very high. But the idea that it's pointless trying to buy Tesla lower is stupid in my opinion, because you could buy Tesla at 900 and have one share. But you could also buy Tesla at 450 and have 2 shares, which means your investment would be worth 30,000 instead of 15,000 if the shares ever reach that. So I don't want to predict where the price is going to go of Tesla. It's impossible. We don't know what's going on with the markets at the moment. There is so much uncertainty, but at the same time, the markets are going all over the place. So it's so hard to say. But I would say this, with all this uncertainty going off, if the markets do crash again, if the markets plummet again, would Tesla take a hit or would they come out unscathed, completely unscathed? And in my opinion, even though Tesla offers so much more than cars, I think Tesla would take some sort of hit. I think it would be silly to say that the Tesla price isn't going to come down even just slightly from now. Famous last words. So someone will probably quote that at some point. Like I say, it's not investment advice. It's just at the moment, not just Tesla, but the whole market, we don't know what's going on. So it's really hard to predict if people are going to go, hey, look at Ford. They've had 0 sales and Tesla's had 40, 50,000 sales. We expected 100,000, but they've had 40, 50,000 sales. Well, that obviously shows that Tesla are the future. Or they could go, hey, we expected 100,000 sales. Tesla have only had 50,000 sales. What's going on? So it's really hard to know what's going to happen with the stock price. And that's why with uncertainty, me personally, I'm just waiting on the sidelines a little bit. The biggest thing I could say to you guys is don't get FOMO. That's the biggest thing. Whenever you really feel like, oh my God, I'm missing out, that's probably the best time to just step back, take your time, and just assess the situation a little bit. So just play it safe. Don't get FOMO. Don't worry about missing out on a situation opportunity. The company's not going anywhere. It's not going to skyrocket to 15,000. It's also not going to plummet to $50 or $60 per share. So don't worry too much, but just take your time with it, guys. I see so many people rushing into it at the moment because they're worried about missing out. Just take your time with it. We've got lots of numbers to come through over the next few quarters and sales are going to be down, but we will gauge a picture over time whether the share price is going to react negatively or positively to these numbers. Rushing into it right now, I don't think is a good idea in my opinion, especially if you are fearful of missing out. This isn't investment advice, it's just myself. I'm going to be staying on the sidelines. I'm definitely not over leveraging. I'm definitely not going to be borrowing money to put it into Tesla. I see some horrible tweets online about people borrowing money to shovel it into Tesla. And I just want to tell you about one horror story I heard. I was following a guy on Twitter. This was when the share price was reaching around 900. He had some money out against his house. So he had a big chunk of cash. It wasn't his. It was a loan against his. He had basically remortgaged his house and he had all this money. And he was supposed to be using it to renovate his house. And he was on a Twitter thread and it was about the share price going up to 900 and he was fearful of missing out and he wanted to jump in and everyone was pushing him like, look, you got to do this. And he'd explained his situation. I'll try and put the thread up. So he invested, I think it was $20,000 or $30,000 into Tesla shares. And literally the very next day, the share price went down to around 800 and the guy was, or it went down. He was scared out of his mind. Like he was like, I'm losing loads of money, blah, blah, blah. Really worried about all this stuff going on. And then it dropped again and dropped again. And if you now go onto his page, he's lost all his money. I don't know how he managed to lose all of it. I'll go on it, but he's changed his Twitter name to like bankrupt something. And yeah, it's just a sad thing that he over leveraged because he was so fearful of missing out. So just a story, guy. Don't worry about missing out. It's always going to be there. Be sensible and don't risk anything that you're not willing to lose. And especially don't risk borrowed money. It's not worth it. I personally think there could be a great access point into the market very soon. That's just my opinion. I'll be waiting. So I'm very late on this news, but the Model S had an update and I just wanted to mention it. So you've probably seen it loads of times. Tesla Model S had a new update for the launch mode. It was called, I think it's called cheetah mode because of the stance that it gets in, it gets really low. And the reason I wanted to mention this is because it's added 40 horsepower to the vehicle. At this point, I just think it's crazy that the car can continually update itself and do that. if you know cars, the tuning involved in a car that's already been updated many times before, to add 40 horsepower, the work that's involved in that is crazy. And to receive that for free over the internet is ridiculous. And I'm so excited that I'm involved in this with this car company that do this, because no other car company would offer this out for free as well. It's amazing. So just, I was driving the P90D Ludicrous, I think, no, it was Insanity Plus. And that thing is ridiculous. It's like a kick in the back of the neck. I can't explain the speed, it's just ridiculous. So the fact that they've made the Model S even faster again is just crazy at this point. But I mean, what do you think of this? That we're like, this is the car company we're involved in, like that they update like this. I think it's so amazing, and I absolutely love it. But yeah, it just seems to be the way forward with car companies, and I'm surprised that no other car company is going to go down this route, because it wouldn't even have to be an EV to be able to offer over-the-air updates. Why aren't other car companies doing it? And I think a lot of that is to do with they like to make money out of people. Teslas are going to last a lot longer. Their components are going to last a lot longer. Whereas if I bought a car back in the day, after 3 or 4 years, I'm changing something in the car. I might be looking at getting a new clutch, or after 8 or 9 years, I might need a new gearbox. And it's just like stuff like that. It's not the maintenance on a Tesla's less, and the fact that they update it to make the car better is just crazy. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is the Just Tesla news kind of thing going off. It's a new thing. I'm going to try and be a bit more organized, but I thought I'll just give it a shot this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, you've been absolutely great.